Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Today's reaction is going to be a Dax reaction. This is for the audio for his track Eternity from his album Pain Paints Paintings. He released this last year and I've reacted to a few of the tracks from it, but I'm gonna sort of obviously carry on reacting to the rest of the songs now. Obviously we're into the new year. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what Dax has for us. Here we go.
And when you really examine the concept of eternity, one will find that there is no end. Life after death is a concept humans still don't understand.
How long is eternity? I don't understand. Some say forever, but if it's forever, then when does it come to an end? It's more than a concept, an infinite time that we spend. It confirms that our lives here on earth are a blip of existence and don't make a dent. As we get older, it creeps in our mind, the thought of the end and beginning of time. The life that we thought that we lived doesn't matter, approaching the thought that someday we all die. I get confused when I look in the sky. What is this water hitting my eyes? Maybe the rain is the pain and shame that hits earth when God cries. As we get older, we don't care what we did. It's not the things we receive, but the things we give. We try to go back to the time we were kids, but those shoes no longer fit. And then we finally realize that everyone dies, but not everyone lives. So I'm taking a chance. I'm living my life in the moment and not in a future that's not in my hands. I'm giving my time to the people who love me for everything that I am. I'm living my life in reality, not for a post that they'll tap when they open the gram. I'm doing whatever it takes. I'm not gonna dwell on my past mistakes. I'm bridging the gap between my dreams and what I see while I'm awake. They say leave it up to fate. Well, fate favors those who take. Cause if eternity's forever and all this is temporary, why wait?
Wow, okay, I just want to stop it there and say how awesome this song is and just how brilliantly worded. Wow, I mean, he is questioning and bringing up things that I think we all at some point think in our lives, and he's just perfectly summing it up, perfectly wording it. And I got, wow, this is deep. This is deep. He's raising some brilliant questions and some brilliant points to talk about and to start a conversation. The fact that he said that everybody dies but not everybody lives, that is so true. I think so many of us at some point in our lives, or many points throughout our lives perhaps, that we kind of like question why we're here. Like, what is our purpose, what is our reason for being here, and what does it all mean, what is everything all about, whether that's good or bad in your life and things that you go through. And it's a classic age-old question, isn't it? What is the meaning of life? And I don't think we're ever really meant to know until perhaps we get to the other side, if that's indeed what you believe. Some people obviously don't, and that's all fine. It is what it is. It's what you believe in. I personally believe that there is something after. I'm not a particularly religious or church-going person, but I think I'm quite a spiritual person. So I do have my beliefs in something, in a higher source, in a higher intelligence, and something that created all of this, and the fact that there is a reason for everything. Every single thing, right from the largest thing in the world, and you know, the largest animal, to every single bird, every single insect, just the tiniest little bacterias and amoebas that you get in the oceans and you know, under the ground. Everything has a purpose, everything has a meaning, and that is mind-boggling in itself to think of. I mean, I don't want to kind of like go too deep with this. I mean, this is a deep one, and there is so much that you could unpack from this. Like, literally, I could probably talk all day about this, but I'm not going to, obviously, because it will make the video way too long. But yeah, it's just, there are so many questions in life. You know, what is the meaning of life, and what does it all mean? Who created us? What created us? How did we get here? You know, what am I supposed to do with my life? What is my purpose? And I think a lot of people spend, probably most people actually, seem to spend most, if not all, of their life trying to work that out. And some people never actually get there. Some people never figure out what is their reason for being here, what is their purpose in life, what are they meant to do. And yes, I'm a spiritual person, but I also believe that obviously evolution is a thing. There is scientific evidence and proof to suggest that evolution is a thing. and I'm not going to dispute that because you know, it is what it is. But I think at the same time that you can believe in science and you can believe in evolution and what, you know, the scientific experts say, but it doesn't necessarily take away from the fact that you can also be a spiritual person and believe that something higher and something more intelligent, whatever you want to call that, whether it's God, whether it's extraterrestrials, whether it's whatever you want to believe in, you don't have to dismiss that. It shouldn't be one or the other. Why can't they go hand in hand? And that is kind of like the stance that I hold on it. That is my viewpoint, is that yes, evolution is a thing, but what if something created it so that we would purposely evolve? So in that sense, those two things, science and evolution and spirituality, can go together. Because if you believe that something higher created all of this, then they created it perfectly to the point that it would eventually evolve and move with the times, albeit over millions and millions of years. But it was obviously intended that way, and it's just quite mind-boggling really to think about it. I just, if I think too long about it, I have all sorts of these things going on in my brain pretty much every day. I kind of think about stuff, or a thought will suddenly hit me, and then I'll go really deep into it. I don't know exactly what that is, whether that's just me overthinking or whether it's something else. I don't know. Or is it just because perhaps I'm quite a deep thinker, and I just love to think about these sort of things. Just ask the questions and just try and look at things from a different viewpoint, and come up with different ideas and perspectives on things. And I find that if I think about these sort of things too much for too long, my brain literally feels like it's going to explode. It literally, my head starts hurting because it is absolutely mind-boggling. It is incredible. It's mind-blowing. It's quite scary to a point, and at the same time it's fantastical. It's really amazing to think that whether or not you believe in just the whole evolution thing, and you believe that we sort of like gradually formed on our own and something was created out of nothing, and then it took millions or billions of years to evolve to where we've got now, and we will continue to evolve, everything will continue to evolve, whether you want to believe specifically in the scientific approach of it, or whether you believe in the spiritual side of it, or whether you want to mesh the two together. I think, you know, that is your right to believe in what you believe, but you cannot deny whatever you believe in. It is mind-boggling to think that everything is the way it is. Right from the biggest thing to the smallest, tiniest, microscopic thing on this earth. Everything has a purpose. Everything is intentional, and I mean, it's amazing. It really is. I don't want to go too deep, like I say, because this video will end up being like 2 or 3 hours long, and it just always baffles me. But these are the kind of questions and things that I will personally think about sort of almost on a daily basis, and it really, really boggles me because it's not I don't think it's intended for us to. We're not meant to know. I don't think we're just far too primitive for that. No matter how much we've evolved over the years, we are still far too primitive. I think if we actually did know and we really got down to the finer details of everything, I think it would just blow our minds, literally and figuratively. It would just be way too much. We have a lot of spiritual progress and mental progress to make before we can be perhaps even close to being privy to this kind of information and the answers to the questions that we ask all the time, because right now I don't think we can handle it. But I love this. I mean, I love the instrumental, absolutely, just a gorgeous instrumental. And I just love the points that he's making and just the things that he's saying. I love that line. It really resonated. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives. That is so true. I think we just get so caught up with everything that's going on, whether it be major stuff that it seems to us, or whether it be just little petty things, that we just forget to kind of stop and take a breath and just really soak in what is going on in our lives and what we're experiencing, and the people around us, and and what we have. I think, you know, we all should sort of, you know, try and do that a lot more. Me especially, I kind of go about my life every single day, so it seems, and I'm sort of like getting the kids ready for school, and I'm just going, you know, going around the house and cleaning up, and I'm kind of stressing about things that I need to do, and the kids won't do as they're told, and you know, I've got so many things going on in my brain I need to remember, and I sometimes, most days actually, I think I just forget to stop and take a breath and really actually appreciate even the tough times, even the stressful times, because there'll be a day, certainly as far as the kids go, when I won't have that anymore. The kids, you know, I don't want to sound depressive or, you know, too sad or whatever, but you know, it's a fact that one day the kids will not need me the way they do now, and one day the kids will have left home and they'll have their own families and their own lives. And I will probably miss that. I will miss those stressful times. I will actually miss the noise, and I'll probably even miss the fighting and arguing and the whinging and the moaning from the kids, because they'll have gone off and they'll be doing their own thing, and I'll be sat there thinking, oh my God, what do I do now? You know, there's only so many times I can clean a house and there's no mess being made. Like, what is going on? So I think we all I think need to, even in our busy lives, I think we all need to kind of just learn to pause and take a breath and just soak everything in, the good and the bad, a little bit more than perhaps what we do, and yeah, just really stop and think, you know, what is our purpose in life? What do we really want to get out of this life? We're here for a very, very short time, really. Even if you live to 80, 90, 100 plus years old, that is still such a short time. Like he said, it's literally just a blip, you know, compared to eternity. It's just a blip. It is a tiny, tiny fraction. It's a blink of an eye, and it's gone before you know it. Like, you feel like you're, as a kid, certainly you feel like your whole life stretched out in front of you, and then before you know it, that's it. You're kind of like 18, 21, 25, 30, 40, and then you're thinking, oh my God, I've probably lived half my life already. It's insane. Wow. So I absolutely love this. Yeah, just absolutely brilliant so far. Like I say, that's all I'm going to say on it, because otherwise I could just go too deep and and just overthink everything. But yeah, I really, really love this. He's just making some brilliant points and just wording it perfectly, as Dax always does. So anyway, let's carry on.
Humanity's lost. We obsess the price of material things, but at what cost? Then treat time like currency and spend it for applause, because we think that life is just a game we can turn on and off. We build, we break, renew, replace. We 9 to 5 and count the days for 40 years till 65, then live off what our pension pays. We fall in line as mental slaves. Our bodies work, our minds are caged, and that's why people say the richest place you'll find is at the graves, full of hopes and dreams that people never chased, full of feelings that we felt but never got to say. All the thoughts inside our heads that we kept stored and locked away. As our age increased and we got old and everything decayed, and when we finally realized that our whole lives was not a game, and that time was a commodity that we could not regain, and that we were in control and there was no one else to blame, is the day that we change. It's eternity, no way. Eternity, no way.
Oh, love singing Dax.
It's eternity, no way. Eternity, no way. It's eternity, no way. It's eternity, no way. It's eternity, no way. Eternity, no way.
What are you doing with your time? What is your definition of happiness? Are you giving more than you're taking? And finally, if it were to all end right now, what are you holding on to that you need to let the world see?
Wow. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely brilliant. Like, it was, I mean, it was only sort of three and a half minutes long, but that was 3.5 minutes of deep thinking and lyrical perfection. I absolutely loved that. That is one of my favorites so far from this album. I mean, I've probably said that pretty much on every single one that I've reacted to so far, and I think I've still got, I don't know, 4 or 5 more to go, something like that, maybe 6. I can't remember how many are on the album, but I have still got a few more to go, and I may well say that again. But this album, I mean, I haven't reacted to every single Dax song, obviously, by any means. There's still a lot that I need to react to, but certainly from this one, and just all the ones that I've heard so far, you know, Dear God, Book of Revelations, you know, just those ones where it's very deep thinking and very philosophical, and asking questions and addressing sort of the whole spiritualism thing, and sort of internal struggles, and things that go on in your head, and thoughts and feelings that you have, and questions that you want answered. This is definitely up there with one of the best ones. Absolutely brilliant. Just the way it was worded. Just Dax is just awesome at writing songs and just putting into words what a lot of us probably struggle to word. But it goes through our minds, and then when we try to kind of express that, we can't quite verbalize it. But Dax seems to just not only be able to verbalize it, but he puts it to music and puts it in sort of layman's terms. Like he doesn't use, you know, any kind of huge intellectual words that a lot of people can't understand, and you have to go and look it up before you can kind of really think, oh, okay, that's what he's saying in that context. You just get it. He just words it where you just get it straight off the bat, and he'll say something and you'll go, oh my god, yeah, the number of times I thought that. Oh my god, yeah, that's what I've been thinking, but I can never quite say it. He's just brilliant. He's just brilliant at songwriting, and particularly these kind of songs where he does raise these points and he does ask these questions. And he obviously spends a lot of time, you know, inwardly sort of as evaluating himself and his life and what his purpose is, and what does all of this mean, and even the bad stuff that's happened in his life. He's obviously mulled over that a lot. He's had a lot of time to think, and indeed a lot of his songs are about emotional pain and struggles, and his personal struggles that he's been through. And I love that about Dax, that he just wears his heart on his sleeve. Like he just lays it out in songs the way he does. And just lyrically, he is awesome. He always seems to get it perfect as well with the instrumental. It goes absolutely perfectly with the message that he's trying to put across, or what he says in his lyrics. He's just a genius. I really think he's a musical genius, and I think he's one of those that's really underrated as well. Like he should be blowing up everywhere, as much as the likes of your Eminems and your 50 Cents and your Kanye Wests and your Jay-Z's and you know, Lil Wayne's and people like that. He should be mainstream. He should be one of the people that more people are listening to, that the world is listening to start conversations. A bit like with Hopsin and Joyner Lucas and Tom McDonald and NF. All of these people need to be heard a lot more than what they are actually heard. Certainly over in the UK, I wouldn't have known about these guys unless I'd seen the recommendations on YouTube, because they're not played on mainstream radio. They're not played on the mainstream music channels and things on the television. And it's really, it's a real shame. It really is a shame that more people are not hearing these messages from these artists, brilliant artists, super talented artists that just have some really important conversations that they want to start, and really important points that they make, and things that need to be addressed a lot more, I think. And I think if more people did actually hear about artists like this, the world would be a better place. I'm telling you, I think it really would. I think we could sort through a lot of the world problems if more people took notice and changed their perspective and their mindsets when they listen to these kind of songs. Just get people thinking and changing their minds on a lot of things, maybe, and those stereotypes and preconceived ideas that people have about rappers, which even myself, I was never kind of really into rap before I sort of started doing these reactions. And maybe it was just a case of I wasn't listening to the right ones for me. Perhaps I needed to listen to the likes of Dax and Tom McDonald and Joyner Lucas and NF and Hopsin and people like that to really appreciate the art form that rap can be, that hip hop is as a genre. It can be used for so much good, and sadly I don't think a lot of the mainstream hip hop artists use their talent and their voice enough in such a way as this, that it would actually make people sit up and pay attention and change their mindsets on a lot of things. And I really think they should. I really think they should. You know, take a leaf out of Dax's book and Tom McDonald's book and you know, people like that, and just really be a lot more open and honest with themselves as well, and just say how they feel, say what they're thinking, and start those conversations. And okay, it may cause a bit of controversy, but hey, sometimes to make changes in the world, particularly for the better, it causes controversy, it upsets the apple cart, it does rock the boat, but it has to be done. It's the only way that change will happen, and change for the better will happen. So I absolutely loved this. Like I say, I love the instrumental. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and listen to this one again and just really take in what he said. I'll probably listen to it a couple more times after I finish filming this reaction, because I'm really impressed with this, and just with Dax and this new album in general, from what I've heard of it so far. He's just brilliant. I think this is some of his best work yet that I've heard anyway, up to date. But yeah, I can't wait to get into the other songs from this album. I will keep going with them, obviously, until I finish reacting to the whole album. So stay tuned for that if you're here for more Dax reactions. And I'll obviously have reactions for his other stuff as well, coming up at some point once I've probably finished. I'll probably finish reacting to this album first before I move on to his other stuff. I know it seems a little bit backwards, and perhaps I should have gone right back from the beginning, but it was literally just a one-off that I reacted to Dax, and then I kind of got a bit hooked. There was another one and another one and another one, and I kind of have done it out of sync a little bit. Same with NF, to be honest. And yeah, I'm kind of bummed now looking back at it that I didn't sort of react in order of like when he first hit the scene, when he first started, just to see his progress. Kind of like I am with Tom McDonald, sort of going right back to the beginning and just seeing how he progressed throughout his songs. But I just had no idea. I had no idea that I was going to get hooked into this, into Dax and everything that he has. So yeah, lesson learned. So anyway, if you love this too, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with more Dax reactions and reactions for other artists on Thursdays and Sundays, and Tom McDonald Tuesday, every Tuesday. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.
Making it brighter right through the gray.